This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.
And good evening, Nebraska. Mike Flood again for Quarantine Tonight, News Channel Nebraska's very own, unique, one-of-a-kind in the United States variety show. It's an uncommon show for an uncommon time, and we welcome you tonight. Thanks for allowing us into your living room. We want to thank our sponsors, the University of Nebraska Medical Center and Black Hills Energy, teaming up together with other local sponsors from across the state to help provide a bit of a respite from the news of coronavirus and celebrate the talents and the contributions of Nebraskans. And tonight we have an extra special treat for you, a number of songs you're going to recognize from two people that have been in the business in the Columbus area, the music business, for a lot of years in a lot of good ways, and they've touched a lot of lives. We're going to introduce you to them in a second. But one of the things I wanted to start our show with tonight is all the things that we can be thankful of. Obviously, with this virus making its way across the country and the news conferences and the public officials' declarations, there's a lot of anxiety out there. But as I drove here to this undisclosed location north of the Platte River tonight, I saw families in parks. I saw people together, just husbands and wives on walks. I saw people that were spending time with their families, and it's happening not just where I live, but everywhere else in Nebraska. Families are watching television together, they're having dinner together, they're reintroducing themselves to each other, and we hope at News Channel Nebraska that we're part of that tonight, and I think we will be. Want to start this evening, as we do every night on Quarantine Tonight, with Pastor Neil Gately. He's with the First United Methodist Church in Norfolk. Pastor, please come on. Your church has something very special tomorrow that's very important to the future of our state and to the health of our citizens. That's a pretty major blood drive, isn't that right?
Right. We have a blood drive tomorrow. The blood drive will be from 9 in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The Red Cross is asking people to pre-register, so the registration can be done at redcrossblood.org. redcrossblood.org, and it's from 9 to 3. We still have a lot of slots open because we didn't even get it booked until Friday.
That's right, and this is at the First United Methodist Church in Norfolk, Nebraska, and your address is?
It's 406 West Phillips or 4th and Phillips.
And if somebody goes to that website, let's say they're from Beatrice or North Platte or Scotts Bluff or wherever they're from, they can find a location near them and sign up to give blood. Is that right?
That's right. redcrossblood.org will ask you for your zip code. You enter your zip code, and it will give you a listing of the upcoming drives that are close to you.
And it's safe. People need to know that giving blood right now is absolutely safe. They take a number of precautions, and there are people, just like there are every day, battling cancer or car accidents or a heart surgery, or even they find themselves battling the coronavirus, that they need blood, and supplies are very short right now. So what you're doing is actually saving lives by promoting this, by holding this. Tell us what that means to your congregation.
Well, we try to be plugged into the community, and it's a difficult time to be plugged into the community because we don't meet face to face. And in reality, we're turning this blood drive over to the Red Cross. We'll have very little to do with it once it happens because, they're wanting the appointments so that people can pre-screen for health questions. They're going to give you health questions when you get there. They're going to take your temperature on your way in. And so we're not able to use our building right now. So we might as well put it to good use with someone else.
And if anything, you get a free cookie at the end.
Well, that's my understanding. So again, redcrossblood.org, and if you don't happen to be in the Norfolk area, just be sure and check the website, redcrossblood.org, and you can find a blood drive near you.
All right, the prayer tonight. Pastor Neil Gately, United Methodist Church in Norfolk.
Yeah, with Norfolk First United Methodist Church, and also with the United Methodist Churches in the community of Winside and Stanton. And I would encourage you to be in an attitude of prayer. God of grace and God of glory, On thy people pour thy power. We come this evening, and many of us feel powerless up against an enemy and a disease that we can't see and can't fully understand. We pray, Lord, that you might give us a spirit of hope so that we might spend our time thinking not of the dangers that surround us, but instead thinking of the people who serve in your name. We thank you, Lord, for doctors, nurses, aides, janitors at healthcare facilities, for the efforts that they put forth for people who struggle with their health. We thank you for the folks who are driving trucks and stocking shelves, for people who allow us to maintain some semblance of what we know as daily life. We thank you for the friends and family that reach out to us via text or email or FaceTime or however, just so that we might know that as lonely as we may feel, that we are not ever truly alone. And so as we give you thanks for all those around us who are offering us strength and support in this time, we thank you for the very grace of Christ Jesus, the one who keeps us strong. And it is in his name that we pray. Amen.
Pastor Neil Gately, thank you so much for being here tonight. A quick note that your church is putting together packs basically to celebrate Holy Week. You can stop by Saturday, and what do you have in there? You have a palm for Palm Sunday.
Right, we're hoping by Friday or Saturday for all three churches to have a pack together. They'll have a palm for Palm Sunday. It will have, for every member of the household, a communion kit that is a small communion cup, and that's sealed, and then there's a wafer on top of that that's sealed, so that when we have Maundy Thursday service, we can celebrate communion together. We're going to have 7 little candles. We're going to do a tenebrae service, which is an extinguishing of candles in the service. It's kind of like your Christmas Eve candlelight service in reverse. You light candles on Christmas Eve to celebrate the birth of Christ, and so you can put out candles on Good Friday in commemoration of his death. And so we're going to have 7 little candles, 7 little votive candles for each household so that they can participate in that at home. And then we're going to have a small wooden cross that we're going to explain its purpose on Easter Sunday. So we're hoping that from Palm Sunday to Easter Sunday, the folks who have been watching worship online won't so much be watching as participating.
Very nice. Thank you very much for all you do. I guess we can't do that, but we can do this.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, Pastor Neil Gately. We are going to get Quarantine Tonight started. We've got 2 wonderful musicians here. We have this guy, Mike Moser, been a friend of mine for a while. He's owned Columbus Music since 1974. 1977. I gave you a few years credit there. And not only is he a musician, he's also the state senator for Platte County. I know I wasn't supposed to mention that, but and a good portion of Stanton County. Welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you. Yes, here I'm just as an unofficial musician and not in an official capacity, so we're kind of downplaying the politics a little bit, but
well, this pays the same as the legislature, so I hope you enjoy it.
yeah, well, I'm doing it for the fun of it, just like the legislature.
Very nice. And Fred Ritter, he's been an educator in music education in Nebraska for 38 years. We're going to find out about him some more. You've got kids in music all over the state, but I think it's important that people know you grew up outside of Tilden, Nebraska.
That's right.
With the 26 Antelope County on your plate. And so we find you back a little bit closer to the Elkhorn River than the Loop River tonight.
Oh, definitely. Norfolk feels like home for us. So Norfolk and Tilden area was wonderful. We love this place.
Not that we're in Norfolk. We just,
If
we're
we
in
were here. If we were here, yeah.
We're here. Let's get down to business. We're going to find out more about these 2 guys. You're watching Quarantine Tonight on News Channel Nebraska.
Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow, kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor, dance in the kitchen till the morning light, Louisiana Saturday night. Waiting in the front porch, sitting on a log, single shot rifle and a one-eyed dog. Yonder come a kibble in the moonlight, Louisiana Saturday night. Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow, kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. My brother Bill and my other brother Jack, a belly full of beer and a possum in the sack. 16 kids in the front porch light. Louisiana Saturday night. When the kid folks leave and the kids get fed, and me and my woman gonna slip off the bed. Have a little fun when we turn out the light. Louisiana Saturday night. Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Oh, well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. All right. Well, we're just tickled pink to be with you tonight on Quarantine Tonight. You're listening to Cruisin' Point 5. Typically, we're a four-piece band, and because of the quarantine and because one of our guys lives 80 miles away, why we're just doing it as a duo. But we thought it would be fun. I got a call from Mike Flood, and so I checked with Fred, and he was available, so here we are. So we're going to do a few different kinds of music. We'll do some country. We'll do a couple of rock and roll things, a couple of just kind of pretty songs, and hope you enjoy it. This one is actually a song that was written, I believe, by Depeche Mode, but it was redone in a choral style by a number of different artists, and we heard it one time. We thought it was great. We love it. It's called Only You. It's like a story of love. Can you hear me? Came back only yesterday. It's moving further away. Won't you hear me? All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew. Only you. Sometimes when I think of your name, and it's only a game, and I need you, listening to the words that you say, it's getting harder to stay. When I hear you, all I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew. Only you. All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew. Only you. This is gonna take a long time, and I wonder what's mine. Can't take no more. Listen, if you'll understand, it's just the touch of your hand behind a closed door. All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew. was the love you gave, all I needed for another day, and all I ever knew, and all I ever knew, yes, all I ever knew, only you.
Here's one that I don't know if you caught the Garth Brooks special the other night on NET1. I hope that's okay to give that a comment on NCN Nebraska. But Garth Brooks won the Gershwin Award, and one of the songs that he recorded not so long ago was used in the movie Hope Floats, and it's called "To Make You Feel My Love." When the rain is blowing in your face, the whole world is on your case, I would offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When evening shadows and the stars appear, there's no time to dry your tears, I could hold you for 1,000,000 years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, I would never do you wrong, known it from the moment that we met, there's no doubt where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, crawling down the avenue. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. Storms are raging on a rolling sea, down the highway of regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do to go to the ends of the earth for you. Make you happy, make your dreams come true, to make you feel my love. Well, that guarantees that it was live, complete with a couple of mistakes. How's that?
That's okay.
All right, the next song we're going to do is a Beatles song. It's called "I Will," and it's kind of a cool little ballad from the 60s, and I happened to catch it on YouTube the other day. Paul McCartney was doing it, and of course, Mr. McCartney, I think, wrote it, so he did a great job. Who knows how long I've loved you? You know I love you still. Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. For if I ever saw you, I did not catch your name, but it never really Sing it loud so I can hear you. Make it easy to be near you. For the things you do endear you to me. Ah, you know I will. Okay, here we're going to feature Fred on this. It's a nice little rock song from the 60s called Bye Bye Love.
Bye bye love, bye bye happiness, hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye bye love, bye bye sweet caress, hello emptiness, I feel like I could die. Bye bye my love, goodbye. There goes my baby with someone new. She sure looks happy, I sure am blue. She was my baby till he stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. Bye bye love, bye bye happiness, hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye bye love, bye bye sweet caress, hello emptiness, I feel like I could die. Bye bye my love, goodbye. I'm through with romance, I'm through with love, I'm through with counting the stars above. And here's the reason that I'm so free. My loving baby is through with me. Bye bye love, bye bye happiness, hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye bye love, bye bye sweet caress, hello emptiness, I feel like I could die. Well, bye bye my love, goodbye. Well, bye bye my love, goodbye. Well, bye bye my love, goodbye.
News Channel Nebraska quarantine tonight. Fred Ritter, Mike Moser, two Columbus guys here taking care of business on a, can you believe it's Tuesday? I was talking to somebody today and I was like, what is it, Thursday, Friday? No, it's
lose track of time nowadays, that's for sure.
Now let's talk about you. You grew up in Tilden, learned music was your path early on, and tell me, let's just outline. You were in North Platte for a while, then you were the music vocal teacher at Columbus for 30 years. You've got kids and brothers and sisters, and the whole Ritter family is into music.
Well, we're kind of a musical family, that's for sure. And besides my three children that are in it, my other two sons are also in music. One is a music minister, worship pastor in Mankato, Minnesota. And the other one actually lives in Tilden on the farm. He's a sound recording engineer and does website work. So he's still in Tilden on the farm. Yeah, it's and then I also have a sister-in-law. My wife's sister is also the band director at Battle Creek High School. So Connie Lade. She was a Kirby, but like my wife. But anyhow.
You gotta be careful with those Kirbys.
I know, that's for sure. Oh, you know about the Kirbys.
I know about the Kirbys.
That's right.
What about now that your son's the music director at Columbus High now?
Right. He took over in my position 5 years ago.
And then you've got where else are they teaching now?
My daughter Celeste is the middle school choir director there in town. So we've got kind of this middle school, high school thing going, and they're just doing great guns with music in Columbus. So, and then my youngest daughter was the music director in Shelby for a year, and then she retired more or less for a greater calling, which was motherhood. So she's a stay-at-home mom now.
And she was at Elgin Pope John before that.
That's my sister.
My goodness! I'm gonna need a diagram.
I know. My sister was at Elgin Pope John, and then she finished out in Neely as an accompanist and teaching elementary in Neely. That's Pat Miller. And then my brother Dale Ritter was the band and choir director in Alma, Nebraska. So we're all over the place.
You can't throw a rock and not hit a Ritter over in Tilden.
Ritter, well, at least if you're around a music building, yeah.
There you go. This is This is Fred Ritter. We're going to talk more to Mike Moser here in a sec. You're watching News Channel Nebraska. Let's go ahead and get an update on tonight's news. We'll be right back. Let's take it away. Good evening and welcome back, Nebraska. You're watching Quarantine Tonight. Now, I'd love to have you here. I'd love to have a huge audience, but I can't tell you where we're at. That's part of the deal. The directed health measures have us working in an undisclosed location, and we are just here to provide you entertainment for free over your television across the state of Nebraska. And it's all brought to you by the University of Nebraska Medical Center and Black Hills Energy. Tonight, Mike Moser, Fred Ritter, two guys from Platte County, a number 10 on their plate. We checked it at the county line when we let them in. It was like, okay, just two of you tonight. So you've got a couple songs coming up here, and I see a song, Ships That Don't Come In, coming up in a couple songs here. That's celebrating the life of Joe Diffie.
Yep.
That's
Joe Diffie had a hit with the song Ships That Don't Come In, and he just died from complications from the coronavirus a few days ago. And so it was kind of a shock to have somebody you know and is famous that, passes away, and it just brings it back that we should pay attention, that this is a little more of a problem than the typical flu, and people should just take it seriously, I think.
He's 61, and you happen to pick my favorite Joe Diffie song. So that's coming up in a few, but let's get ready with something from the Grundy County auction. You're watching News Channel Nebraska, Quarantine Tonight.
All right, this is John Michael Montgomery playing a nice little up tune from the country here called Sold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I went down to Grundy County auction where I saw something I just had to have. My mind told me I should proceed with caution, but my heart said go ahead and make a bid on that. And I said, hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'd give anything to make you mine, all mine. I'd be at your bidding and be at your beck and call. Yeah, I've never seen anyone looking so fine, man. I gotta have her, she's a one of a kind. Going once, going twice. Sold to the lady in the second row. She's an 8, she's a 9, she's a 10, I know. Ruby red lips, blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm about to bid my heart goodbye. Well, the auctioneer was going about a mile a minute. She was taking bids and calling them out loud. Well, I guess I was really getting in it, 'cause I just shouted out above the crowd. And I said, hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'd give anything to make you mine, all mine. I'll do your bidding and be at your beck and call. Yeah, I've never seen anyone looking so fine, man. I gotta have her, she's a one of a kind. Going once, going twice. Sold to the lady in the long black dress. Won my heart, it was no contest. With the ruby red lips, blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm about to bid my heart goodbye. Well, we found love on the auction block and hauled my heart away. Now we still love to laugh about the way we met that day. And I said, hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? Give anything like a mine or mine. Do your bidding and be at your beck and call. Yeah, I've never seen anyone looking so fine, man. I gotta have her, she's a one of a kind. Going once, going twice. Sold to the lady in the second row. She's an 8, she's a 9, she's a 10, I know. Ruby red lips, blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm about to bid my heart goodbye. Woo!
Nice job, Fred. Hey, we're going to switch this off to George Strait's song. It's a pretty little waltz called You Look So Good in Love. You ready, Fred? you sparkle, and oh, how you shine. The blush on your cheeks is more than wine. We must do something that I didn't do. Whatever he's doing looks good on you. You look so good in love. You want him, it's easy to see. You look so good in love. I wish that you still wanted me. He must have stolen some stars from the sky and gave them to you to wear on your eyes. Well, I've had my chances, but I've set you free, and now I wonder why I couldn't see. You look so good in love. You want him, it's easy to see. You look so good in love. I wish that you still wanted me. All right, here's one of Fred's favorite songs. We'll see if I can blow the lead up here.
Are you ready for this one, Mike? Here we go.
I need a little nap first. I think then I'd be better off. All right, you ready, Fred?
I'm ready. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's all go down to Dumas Walker. Let's all go down to Dumas Walker. I'll get a cider of shies and a bottle of ski. Just bring it on out to my baby and me. We're headed to the drive-in on a Saturday night. Just me and my baby and a six-pack of light. I got a pocket full of money and I'm raring to go down to Dumas Walker right after the show. They'll be shooting mamas in the back of the store and weighing money down on the floor. Let's all go down to Dumas Walker. Let's all go down to Dumas Walker. We'll get a side burger, fries, and a bottle of ski. Just bring it on out to my baby and me. Headed to the drive-in on a Saturday night. Just me and my baby. Got a six-pack of light. I got a pocket full of money and I'm ready to go down to Dumas Walker right after the show. They'll be shooting mamas in the back of the store and laying money down on the floor. Let's all go down to Dumas Walker. Let's all go down to Dumas Walker. We'll get a side burger, fries, and a bottle of ski. Just bring it on out to my baby and me. Here we go. He takes all his orders just a one at a time. He don't need a pad, he's got a photogenic mind. You ought to see the young folks a-quinging around. He's quick to let you know we got a law in this town. You ought to see the women when he walks through the door. The Mama King is ready for more. Let's all go down to Dumas Walker. Let's all go down to Dumas Walker. We'll get a side burger, fries, and a bottle of ski. Just bring it on out to my baby and me. Okay, let's take it out, Mike. Oh, let's go.
Travis Walker,
Well, that
Kentucky
was fun.
Headhunters from way back when.
There's some random applause.
I heard 3 claps there.
All right. So this is the next song is the one we were going to talk about that was written by Joe Diffie, and again a crying shame that coronavirus is touching everyone. It's not just for certain people. It's for the famous. It's for the rich, the poor. You know.
He had some great hits. Prop
Yeah.
Me Up Against the Jukebox When I Die. Pickup Man. He had some great hits.
Yep, yep.
Great hits.
Yep.
But this is a particular tune that we normally do in the Cruisin' 1.0 here. We're probably on Cruisin' 2.8 probably because 2 of our original members are off on other projects now, and so we have 2 other people who play with us. But it's a little tougher to do songs that you're used to doing with 4 parts and you have 2. So
Yeah.
it's nice that we have our 8.5 spectators here that are
You're using too
clapping
many
for-
fractions for me tonight, Mike. I'm having trouble here.
4.5.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
lost
well,
me.
we're
Anyhow,
trying to stay under 10. So
that's true.
That's the goal.
That's true. Okay.
Okay, we ready?
All right. 2, 3, 4. Well, I could tell he had a rough life by the way he sat and stared. And me, I'd come to push and shove, so I pulled up a chair. We talked of roads and traveled, and we talked of love untrue, of strings that come unraveled. We were kings and kindred fools. And just when I hit bottom, that old man raised his glass. He said, at least we've had our chances. There's those that never had. So here's to all the soldiers who have ever died in vain. The insane locked inside themselves, the homeless down on Main. To those who stand on empty shores and spin against the wind. And those who wait forever for ships that don't come in. He said it's only life's illusions bring us to this bar. Pick up these old crutches and compare each other's scars. 'Cause the things we're calling heartaches, well, they're hardly worth our time. But bitch about $1 when there's those without a dime. And as he ordered one last round, he said, I guess we can't complain, 'cause God made life a gamble and we're still in the game. So here's to all the soldiers who have ever died in vain. The insane locked inside themselves, the homeless down on Main. The only stand on empty shores and spin against the wind. And those who wait forever for ships that don't come in. And those who wait forever for ships that don't come in.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool song. You know, it talks about everybody has big dreams and they want to accomplish a lot in your life. And, you know, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. That's right. And, you know, Joe Diffie is gone. You know, we're going to miss him. But he got a lot done while he was here. All right, here's one that was done by Artie Resnick and Kenny Young. Under the Boardwalk features Fred Ritter.
1, 2, 3. When the sun beats down and melts a tar upon the roof, and your shoes so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby, that's where I'll be. under the boardwalk, out of the sun.
Under the boardwalk,
We'll be having some fun.
under the boardwalk,
There's people walking about.
under the boardwalk,
We'll be falling in love under the boardwalk, the boardwalk. From the park you hear the happy sound of a carousel. You can almost taste the hot dogs and the french fries that they sell. Come on, Nebraska, here we go. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On the bank with my baby, that's where I'll be.
under the boardwalk,
Out of the sun,
under the boardwalk,
we'll be having some fun.
under the boardwalk,
There's people walking about.
under the boardwalk,
We'll be falling in love under the boardwalk, the boardwalk.
Nice job, Fred. Nice job.
Welcome back to Quarantine Tonight. That was my favorite one that you guys have done so far. I like that. Whose song is that? Is that yours or is that?
Oh, it's just a song that I picked up from doing a choral arrangement at Columbus High School, and then I said, hey, we should do that in the band. So that's kind of where that came
Now, did you do the marching band too?
No, just the choir.
Okay, the marching band in Columbus. I've been to that marching band competition a few times.
yeah.
It's huge. There's packs the streets down there.
Yeah, it's a really good event. Brings bands from all across the state into Columbus, and they march downtown through downtown to a parade section. Then they go out to the field and they do the marching routines that they do out at the football field.
So Mike's he's a modest guy, but in addition to being a musician, you're like the more honorable profession, the one that most people don't think is honorable, but I think is great, noble profession, and you make no money doing it, but it's a great thing to do. You've been the mayor of Columbus, and you're the current state senator for Columbus. Gosh, could you have been in the legislature during a tougher time in Columbus? Last year, this time, you had massive floods. You had the National Guard dropping out of the sky to pick people up. And then this year, of course, coronavirus. It's a tough year in Platte County.
Well, the floods were pretty scary. We had good flood control dikes that saved the city of Columbus, but south and north of Columbus had some serious flooding damage, and we had 2 citizens pass away, and that was terrible. Then this year we have the coronavirus. So far, I believe we only had 1 person who tested positive in Platte County, so we're pretty fortunate that way so far. But they were saying that in a typical year, flu might kill 63,000 or something like that in a year in the whole country, and that this particular strain of virus might be 10 times more dangerous or serious than the typical flu. So if that was the case, nationally we could lose
A lot of people,
hundreds of thousands of people. So
that's why we're doing everything we can to keep people calm, keep people in their homes, and provide entertainment like this to make it easier to stay inside, especially when the weather's just a little bit nicer than maybe we deserve sometimes. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. They've got a song coming up next called Nebraska Sky, and we've actually got a guy who wrote that song watching in North Platte tonight. We're going to find out about him, we're going to find out about the song, and we're going to enjoy it. I guarantee there's no other TV network in America playing the song Nebraska Sky. Coming up in just a few minutes, you're watching Quarantine Tonight, brought to you by University of Nebraska Medical Center and Black Hills Energy. I'm Mike Flood. This is News Channel Nebraska. Welcome back to Quarantine Tonight. Mike Flood, News Channel Nebraska. This show, this effort, this network is about informing and being with Nebraskans, and especially this time slot, 8 to 10 p.m., to get our mind off what's going on and just enjoy the positive things that are the talents that our performers bring to the table. And they do it because they recognize 2 things. One, they like to play music, and there's not a lot of opportunity to do that you know, at a public setting, and not that it's very public. It's my two sons and Chad Barnhill in the undisclosed location here. So there's not a huge studio audience. But number two, they know that this brings people joy, and listening to live music from Nebraskans for Nebraskans is the mission. And so tonight, we're going to start this set off with Fred Ritter and Mike Moser, two guys from Columbus. A song called Nebraska Sky. And Mike, you started learning this song because you knew Fred wanted to play it. Fred, tell me about this song. You were teaching in North Platte. You were out there for 10 years.
I was teaching, yeah, in North Platte, and there was a group out there called Chance in the early '80s that did this. Kim Baxter, it was who actually wrote it, and the band was just a phenomenal band back then, and we did a lot with Nebraska Land Days, playing for the rodeos, big shows out there. I stole the song from him with his permission, and I actually did a sing-along at Scouts Rest Ranch out there around a little campfire. We had buffalo stew cookout type thing, and we'd do all sorts of songs, but I'd always finish up with Nebraska Sky because it's a beautiful song.
And the Sky, if you've ever been to the west central part of Nebraska, the Panhandle, there's something about it out there.
Oh, that's for sure. It's beautiful, and that song's a lot about western Nebraska where he's from, so.
All right, let's do it. It's called Nebraska Sky. It's on Quarantine Tonight. This is News Channel Nebraska.
Living off the land ain't no easy chore, but there's no other life that I could cherish more. But when I was a young man, I gave it all away. Moved out to Chicago to make myself a name. Growing up, I watched my daddy break his back to save the farm. It was to me a mystery why he worked so hard. Fresh out of college, I tried my hand at the corporate scene. I found myself in urban sprawl with this one recurring dream. Nebraska sky, Lord, how I miss you. Nebraska sky, you set the fields aglow. I wonder why I never left you for the city. Now I know what makes my daddy strong. He knows he's right where he belongs. Jammed up on the freeway, my mind drifts far away, where a fresh breeze fills my sails at Lake McConaughey. Across the sand hills there lies a string of memories, like a campfire throwing light on the Niobrara trees. Now that I'm away from it, I've come to realize there's so many things I've done and seen through these eyes. The traffic's moving and I sense reality, but as I gaze back to the west, I still can vaguely see Nebraska sky. Lord, how I miss you. Nebraska sky,
You set the fields aglow. I wonder why that I never realized your beauty. And now I know what makes my daddy strong. He knows he's right, Nebraska sky. Lord, how I miss you, Nebraska sky. You set the fields aglow. I wonder why I never realized your beauty. Now I know what makes Nebraskans strong. They know they're right where they belong. You know you're right where you belong.
Beautiful song there, Nebraska Sky. Now, Kim Baxter originated that?
Kim Baxter wrote that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Nebraska. Yeah, it was very, very popular, and I think it should come back. It's a great song.
It is a great song. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. If you had to pick your favorite drive at sunset in Nebraska on a stretch of Nebraska Highway.
Oh, man.
That's a hard one. Now, Mike gets to drive it often from Columbus to Lincoln. I don't know if it's something in Butler County. It'd have to be in Platte County, probably.
Well, if you're talking scenery, it's pretty tough to beat the Sandhills. Right. Well, I've had some customers who had plants out in western Nebraska, so I'd get to delivering service awards out in western Nebraska, where you open the gate and you drive across somebody else's pasture to get to the next place, and it's pretty hard to beat that for just beautiful country. There's great corn and crops and things here, but out west, you get the Sandhills and the prairie grass, and Nebraska's got some great topography.
That's one of the things with News Channel Nebraska is we really want to bring the West and the East together. And I think there's a lot of folks in western Nebraska and you lived out in North Platte. That's west central Nebraska. I think there's a lot of them that think that nothing that happens east of Kearney ever involves them. And I think the truth is there's a lot of eastern Nebraskans that think about the Panhandle, and like you didn't come from the Panhandle, and technically North Platte is central Nebraska, but those are the rock solid folks.
That's right, and I was blessed to be able to live out in western Nebraska, and then also in my position as Choral Director, we have a really close network of people all over the state, the Nebraska Choral Directors Association, and my favorite sunset, we were driving from North Platte back to Tilden, where I grew up, to see Mom and Dad, and driving in the valley from the west to the east, and came up out of Burwell, right up at the top of the hill there, just a couple of miles out of Burwell, and it's just this most stunning sunset came on that we had to pull over and just stand off to the side of the road, and the kids got out, and it was just amazing. Big open sky. Yeah, it's beautiful.
My favorite stretch, and I've often thought for News Channel Nebraska, if we got like a pickup with a bunch of really high-def cameras, and we drove from Broken Bow to Scotts Bluff, or Broken Bow to Alliance. You go Broken Bow to Alliance and Highway 2, just you and the BNSF trains. And it's beautiful. I mean, you just kind of introduce yourself to new topography. Then my other one would be going Scotts Bluff to Chadron through Sioux County, coming into Crawford, some of those formations in there. So, well, since I have 2 votes, I guess mine win. So, all right. So we're going to let you guys get ready here, and we want to talk for a second about the rest of the week while they get ready for their next song. Tomorrow night we have Kevin and Heidi Chang. Now, this is an accomplished pianist, Kevin. He was born in Taiwan. He graduated from a high school in Central City, went on to the university system. Heidi grew up in Kearney with the Kearney Symphony Orchestra, and she plays the violin, and together the two of them are magic. They're going to be here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central, 7 Mountain Time on your Wednesday night. Now on Thursday night, we have the Jazz Experiment, a group of 5 guys that are fantastic. If you like jazz music, if you like something a little bit different, you're in for an absolute treat on Thursday night. And then prepare yourselves. In fact, this show on Friday is not only are we getting the delay machine ready in case there's an off-color word said, we're actually moving it to a new undisclosed location for security reasons because the band we have on Friday night includes a guy by the name of Jim Casey. Doug, you know these characters, don't you? Doug Spidale, Bosco, and then a guy by the name of Bob Hupp. You know, you guys are in music. You know these characters.
Oh yeah, yeah,
We've
yep.
met those guys before.
Yeah, Bob and Jim were out at a St. Patty's Day thing at the Kelly's Country Club, my family's country club out west of town, before this all came down. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. That's for
right.
sure.
Yeah, we had to find someplace with a liquor license. Now, Mike, you're like an Eagle Scout compared to these guys. You probably are an Eagle Scout.
Yeah. No, I wasn't an Eagle Scout. I'm just boring.
No. I didn't make it through Tiger Cub. Let's do this next song. It's one of my favorites, Stand By Me on News Channel Nebraska. Quarantine Tonight.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky we look upon should tumble and fall, the mountains should crumble into the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. All right. Here we're going to do a tune that was done by Eddie Raven. It's kind of a cool little song. It's another song about lost love, which seems like people that write songs are either starving, their girlfriend left them, their dog died, I don't know, there's a whole list of problems. But in this particular case, a girl dumped him and he went to Mexico. But he wrote a really cool song about it, so that's what we're excited about. 1, 2, 3, 4. just got tired of that same old job. Tired of fighting that freeway mob. I bet you never thought I'd really go. I'd get as far as Mexico. I've even learned to speak the language some. Down on the beach drinking coke and rum. You wouldn't know me with this golden glow. Who needs you when I got Mexico? I'm eating right and I'm living good. I'm doing everything I said I would. I should have left a long time ago. Who needs you when I got Mexico? Through it all, nothing's really changed. No matter what, honey, that's a shame. I still love you, that's the way it goes. He's got you and I got Mexico. I'm eating right and I'm living good. I'm doing everything I said I would. I should have left a long time ago. Who needs you and I got Mexico? Music lovers everywhere.
Yeah, Mexico. We had one of our band members that was kind of self-quarantining. He just got back from Mexico, right?
Yeah, a friend of ours buys a ticket to Mexico, and then he lives kind of in the off the beach quite a ways with some people that's family that they know, and they got a call from their airline that their flight was going to be canceled, so they had to come back a little bit early, but he's still quarantined for another 4 or 5 days before he's cleared to go. So
yeah, we have two sets of friends that are still self-quarantining because they got back from Mexico just in time. You know, the things were canceling and they were getting out just in time. So
yeah. Well, I mentioned before the Gershwin Award that Garth Brooks won the other night. Well, I guess he won it some months back because the program just played on PBS this last weekend. But one of the songs that he did that I really like, and I think it's a good song to, it's one of those songs that's not about love, it's not about lost love, it's about treating your family like you love them and to tell them so while they're around so you can still tell them. So how's that? Kind of a sappy song, but
beautiful.
I'm famous for picking sappy songs. Okay. Sometimes late at night I lay awake and watch her sleeping. She's lost in peaceful dreams, and I turn out the lights and lay there in the dark. And the thought crosses my mind, if I never wake up in the morning, would she ever doubt the way I feel about her in my heart? If tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I loved her? Did I try in every way, show her every day that she's my only one? If my time on earth were through, and she must face this world without me, is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? I've lost loved ones in my life who never knew how much I love them. So I live with the regret my feelings for them never were revealed. So I made a promise to myself to say each day how much she means to me. and avoid that circumstance where there's no second chance to tell her how I feel. 'Cause if tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I loved her? Did I try in every way to show her every day that she's my only one? And if my time on earth were through, and she must face this world without me, is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? So tell that someone that you love just what you're thinking of if tomorrow never comes. One of the things Garth said the other night that I thought was really cool, he said he wants to be remembered as a songwriter, but I think he's the most famous as the crazy entertainer that he is, flying through the air and screams and yells and jumps up and down.
That song he does, the dance. Oh my gosh, that's the most beautiful thing.
Song.
Oh.
The only bad thing, I've seen him smash a lot of good guitars. That really hurts my feelings.
I'm sure. Well, you sell more guitars that way, Mike.
Yeah. He doesn't buy any guitars from me.
That's probably
and I'm sure
true.
he doesn't buy any from Chad
That's
either,
probably true.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're going to
man.
have to work on that, Chad. See if we can. Yeah.
Hey, that last song and this next song that's coming up, it reminds me that I'm going to give a shout out to my wife, and I'm sure you would too, Mike. Hi, Becky. So glad that you're my wife, and I love you. And we're going to do a song here, and I'm thinking of you right now, honey. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you in my arms, when I want you, and all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream when I feel blue in the night and I need you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so, and that is why I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream. Love you, Becky.
Wow, good job on that. Fred is Mike. Fred's taking us out like you can't compete with this guy.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Husband of the year, Becky is she's a lucky woman.
Well, okay, we'll go with that. Yeah.
Making Mike and I look bad.
I've seen her. I think he got the best half.
Now, where's Becky tonight? She's in Columbus.
She's at home in Columbus. Yep, she's staying at home.
Is she a music teacher too?
Actually, she was an ed teacher. She was a reading specialist there at one of the elementaries in town. She's retired in the last couple of years, and we're taking care of our 6, almost 7 grandkids. There's one that's actually due tomorrow, the one that's on the farm in Tilden. So
So you've got 7 kids at home.
well, we will here in the next few days. 7 grandkids. They're not at our home. They're in our children's homes.
Oh, yeah, that's the way things should stay. Just come over.
Well, after he mentioned his wife, I should say that my wife of 40-some years was just glad that I was leaving tonight. So,
You know, Mike, you and I have a lot in common because I brought my 2 boys to run the cameras tonight, and my wife seems to really like it when we all vacate the quarantine house.
well, she works with me at Columbus Music,
Oh.
and she really kind of runs the place. I kind of work there, and so we're together all day long, and we talk. And so when we get home at night, we don't have to sit on the couch and hold hands and look googly-eyed. We go off on our own missions. And
Well, that's Fred and I every night, right? Brendan Blake running the cameras here. What's interesting about that song you just played, All I Have to Do Is Dream, is when I remember I was getting driven to school, I was 1980, I was I don't want to rub it in, but I was a kindergartner back then. Anyway, I was on, and my dad had a 1980 Dodge Murata. This was a big deal, and he had a cassette, and it was All I Want to Do Is Dream, and then it was followed up by Neil Sedaka, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. Ooh. Those 2 songs, and Earth Angel, those 3 all kind of fit together in the same genre. Am I right?
yeah, great tunes. Great.
There you go. Hey, we thank you so much for watching News Channel Nebraska. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up next, we've got some Lee Greenwood that you're going to really like, some God Bless the USA, our final set, our final opportunity, and we're going to have some fun with this. Thanks so much for watching. Let's get an update on the latest in news with our own NCN's Michael Shively. You're watching Quarantine Tonight, a nightly weekday feature here on News Channel Nebraska. Starts at 8 Central, brought to you by the University of Nebraska Medical Center, where they are literally working around the clock to save lives, not only through research, but helping the doctors that help us statewide and advising area hospitals all over Nebraska on top of that, caring for patients. So we want to thank them and Black Hills Energy. They are committed to rural and urban Nebraska. It's a big state and they cover it well. Black Hills Energy. All right, we've got Fred Ritter, Mike Moser, 2 guys from Columbus. They call themselves Cruisin' 2.0. The music continues on Quarantine Tonight. This is News Channel Nebraska.
There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. I want my life to be, live with you, live with you. There's a way, everybody say, to do each and every little thing. But what does it bring if I ain't got you? No, I ain't got you. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to love somebody the way I love you. In my brain, I see your face again. See, you're in my mind. You ain't gotta be so blind. And I'm blind, so very blind. I'm a man. Don't you see what I am? I live and I breathe for you. But what does it do if I ain't got you? No, I ain't got you. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you.
The Gibb Brothers and a few others, To Love Somebody. Okay, we're going to do another one from kind of the 60s. Features Fred on the lead vocals, Silhouettes.
I took a walking past your house late last night. All the chains were pulled and drawn way down tight. From within a dim light cast two silhouettes on the shade. Oh, what a lovely couple they made. Put his arms around your waist and held you tight. Kisses I could almost taste in the night. Wondered why I'm not the guy whose silhouette's on the shade. I couldn't hide the tears in my eyes. Silhouette, 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 oh. Silhouette, 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 oh. I lost control and rang your bell, 'cause I was sore. Let me in or else I'll be down your door. Went to strangers who had been two silhouettes on the shade. Said to my shock, you're on the wrong block. Rushed down to your house with wings on my feet. Loved you like I never loved you, my sweet. Vowed that you and I would be two silhouettes on the shade all of our days. Two silhouettes on the shade. Silhouette, 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 oh. Silhouette, 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 oh. Two silhouettes on the shade.
Good job, Fred. Good job. Well, we've had a great time with you tonight. We're going to do God Bless the USA. We're going to bring Mike Flood back up to do a little introduction to the song while we get ready for it here.
Well, thank you guys for doing this song. We have a special treat today. When I opened up my email this morning, I got a copy of this video of this young man who is in Norfolk saying the Pledge of Allegiance. And when I saw this and I found out you guys had put this song on your list, I thought there's no better introduction to God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood than this young man. It is about the cutest Pledge of Allegiance you've seen in a long time, and his name is Cohen. I believe, if I have that right. It was awfully early when I opened up my email. I don't know what you guys, early for me is like 6 o'clock. What time are you up, Mike? 2:30?
Yeah, if I'm up at 2:30, I'm still up from the night before.
All right, you're watching. This is Fred Ritter. This is Mike Moser, two guys from Columbus. The band is cruising. This is Quarantine Tonight. And to kick off this next song, let's roll the tape.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic which stand one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome!
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, detour down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Fred Ritter, Mike Moser, this is Cruising, and that was wonderful. And if you're at home tonight and you're watching News Channel Nebraska, I believe it. Our message to you is we are going to get through this. We are going to thrive again, and there will be so many better days if we follow the guidelines, if we follow what the president says, what the nation is telling us, what the healthcare providers are doing. Things like this, the core beliefs of this country will keep us strong. And tonight we celebrate everything that makes us Americans, and we will face this threat. I want to thank Mike Moser. You've been a public servant, you've been a business owner, you're giving your time to be here tonight. What do you want people to know, not just in your district, but in this state, about the resolve of Nebraskans?
Well, I think Nebraska is a great state. I think the citizens are just super people, and if you're going to travel across the country somewhere and break down, Nebraska is where you'd want to break down because people will come and help you. And we were driving one time back. We played way out in western Nebraska somewhere. And foolishly, I decided to come back up on Highway 2 through the sand hills.
Oh, my favorite road, yes.
Yes. And about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, the gas gauge was bumping on E. And I should have stayed on the interstate. I could have bought gas. But luckily, we bumped into a sheriff's deputy. And he called into the dispatcher, and they said as long as I had cash and paid an even amount, they'd sell me some gas from the co-op. So that's how we got home. We got home the next morning about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's Nebraska, isn't it? And I think people need to hear those songs because when the chips are down, there's going to be people there to help. And our hospitals and our health workers in Nebraska are committed and working hard on your behalf. So what's next? Which song were you thinking of next? Oh,
we're going to do Help Me Make It Through the Night.
All right, let's do that. This is News Channel Nebraska.
Yeah, we want to thank News Channel Nebraska for having us come play for you tonight. We had fun. Hope you guys at home enjoyed it. And keep watching. Every night they've got something new. They've got a great variety. They've had classical music. They've had polkas, the Leo Lani Orchestra and Big Band last week. I think it's a great thing that Mike Flood's done with his news station, and it's done, it's everyday people doing music, which is kind of cool about it, complete with the mistakes and the flubs and the boo-boos and things. But we've enjoyed it, and we hope you have too. This one's called Help Me Make It Through the Night. Take the ribbon from your hair. Let's start over again. There we go. Take the ribbon from your hair. There we go. Shake it loose and let it fall. Laying soft upon my skin, like the shadows on the wall. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm taking is your time. Help me make it through the night. I don't care who's right or wrong. I don't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow. Lord, tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. It's so sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. All I'm taking is your time. Help me make it through the night. Thank you very much, folks. We've had a great time.
You guys have done a great job, and we appreciate it so much. You know, I like what you said, Mike. This isn't the Kennedy Center. We're not trying to be a national show here. We are a show about Nebraskans for Nebraskans, and it is as local as it comes. And that is what makes this different, I think.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And typically, when you're playing a 4-piece band, you have other things to fill in some of the gaps and stuff. So when you're kind of trying to do cruising .5, it's a little tougher to play the parts and remember to sing the right parts. And
when you get 48 hours notice.
Yeah.
No, you guys did a great job. Thank you very much. This is Mike Moser. Not only is he the owner of Columbus Music, he's also the state senator from District 22, which is Platte and Stanton County, except for Woodland Park. And then this guy here is Tilden, born and raised, longtime music educator at Columbus High School, North Platte High School. if you have Ritter blood, your line of Ritter blood, you're a music educator somewhere in Nebraska. You've got sisters and brothers and children that are all in music.
Yeah, shout out to all the family and all the music, and of course, as Mike said, and I'm so glad that you're bringing music into our homes, because it's really, really important this time of year. The reason why we got involved with this, I think, was because we got a challenge from one of my former students. He said, "Hey, put something on Facebook with a song," and so I was like, "Okay." So I put something on, and then Mike said, "Hey, let's do something too." And then the next thing I knew, we were coming up here. So, but music is so important in everyone's life, and especially young people, to keep them involved in music. Of course, being in music education all my life, you know, I know the importance of that. And so, but not only music for young people, all the way through, I don't know, Mike's age.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Just kidding, Mike. Love you, man. Love you.
Well, you guys did just a wonderful job, and if you see him out and about, you just need to say thank you on our behalf. We're very appreciative of it. I do have two boys of mine that are running the cameras, and when you started sending a shout-out to your wife, my oldest, who's in 7th grade, said, "I want to send a shout-out to Vonnie Arns, who was his 4th grade teacher, who took the time to write him a letter the other day." Wow. This kid doesn't get anything that's on paper, you know, because he's in 7th grade. But Vonnie Arns is from Randolph, and she heard his name on this program and sent him a nice note. And as soon as Brendan was asking me for a shout, of course, Blake said Mrs. Hochstein, his 4th grade teacher, needs a shout out as well. And you know, you wouldn't know it, and they don't admit it very often, but I think they miss their teachers maybe a little bit more than they would admit it.
This homeschool thing, you know, of course our grandchildren are all in homeschool right now, and with their mother, who is not teaching right now. She's not in the building. And
so they're really getting it.
Yeah, so they're getting homeschooling, but they're staying connected with their iPads and stuff through with their teachers, and they go and pick up assignments, and they're still working hard at it. So.
And that's the hard thing, because they're sitting at the kitchen table. Right. It's nice, bright, sunshiny day. The trampoline's sitting in the backyard. The Legos are right next door to them. All their video games are there, and. Yeah, it's down to business.
I have to say they were with us today, and so there wasn't a whole lot of homework going on. I mean, we were outside a little bit more.
You did your share of school. I don't think you need to do any more. You would think, you know, you and your wife both teachers, it'd be buckle down time, but
no, this is grandparent time. Oh yeah, it's different.
At what time were you in the Dairy Queen drive-through?
We didn't do that. We did the juice stop today. So yeah, it was a long line too.
Now, how many kids do you have?
Well, Jan and I have 3 kids.
And where are they
at? The oldest one is a radiation oncologist in St. Louis. The middle one manages a medical lab in Kansas City. And the youngest one's a chiropractor, but mostly she's raising our latest grandson. So they're all doing well, and thankfully not riding home for money.
Yeah, well, I'd say they did pretty good. They must have overdone it on the science in your house growing up.
They just saw, you know, I knew the follies of always being in the principal's office.
Oh, and you did?
Yeah, and so.
Is that at St. Bon's? Is that where you were?
Yeah, I think those records have been disgorged by now, I hope.
It's always the troublemakers that go on in later in life to be the policymakers, the politicians.
Yeah, well, one other thing I wanted to talk about, if you're watching us tonight and you're interested in music and you want to learn how to play, anybody can play music, I think, well enough to have fun. You know, you may not play like Joe Diffie or Garth Brooks or, you know, Lady Gaga, but you can have fun. You know, go to your local music store, wherever you live, and talk to them, have them show you. You know, instruments are not that expensive, and you know, try to get some lessons or watch YouTube, and it's just a good release. It's good for the brain. It bends your brain in a different direction than all the other things you do every day, and I think that's what keeps Fred and I going. You know, we could be in the home somewhere, I suppose, by now, but we enjoy playing music, and so we stick with it.
You know, and one of the hidden benefits, I think, when I was in college is it's always the guy that has the guitar that gets all the ladies. I don't know what, nobody ever teaches you that at a young age.
Yeah, that I think that might be true, and I always told my boys that in the choir. You know, I said, you know, the guys are out there sweating and smelling funny on the sports field, but it's the group, the guys that sing are the ones that get the girls. So yeah, oh yeah.
See, it goes football, and then it's music, and then cross country and speech are down here. That's when you become a broadcaster. Hey, it's 7:57. We've got news coming up in just a little bit. A reminder, tomorrow night, Kevin and Heidi Chang from Central Nebraska, they're driving to our undisclosed location from Hastings, and he's an accomplished pianist and she's an accomplished violinist. They're going to share with us some beautiful music. Thursday, it's the Jazz Experiment 5-piece band and contemporary traditional jazz, and then Friday it's some old-time rock and roll from some Nebraska rock and roll legends. We're going to do it all. It's all coming up this week on Quarantine Tonight, and we've got a surprise for you next week. I don't want to go there yet, but you're going to want to keep watching. Again, thank you on behalf of all of us at News Channel Nebraska. Thanks for having us in your living room. We've got an extended look at news coming up around the corner with the latest information. Michael Shively and Jeff Fox will check your AccuWeather forecast. It's all coming up on News Channel Nebraska.